What's going on, boys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Now, in today's video, I'm going to be running you through one of our 3-day workouts that we use to boost our guys' metabolism so they can drop body fat and build muscle effortlessly. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name's Alfie. I'm the founder of AWF, and I specialize in helping guys aged 21 to 50 get into the best shape of their life, drop body fat, pack on muscle, and build a life they're finally proud of without having to give up their social life or their careers. So without further ado, let's jump into today's workout. Now, the first exercise that I'm gonna be running you through is a seated dumbbell shoulder press. Now, just before we get into it, I wanna show you the exact setup and what to do correctly. The biggest mistake I see is people and guys, basically, the way they set up the bench is they have it completely at a 90-degree angle facing directly upwards, okay? Now, what we're gonna do is we still want it at that 90-degree angle, but what we're gonna do is just bring back the bench slightly. So what we're gonna do is bring this back, sort of about 15 degrees here, and then we're also going to bring the seat up. And the reason why we do this is when you're in this position, you're not gonna fall off your seat, and you can actually engage more leg drive because, well, you're not coming off the end of your seat. So you want it exactly like this. You don't want it flat. You want it up at sort of like a 5-degree angle on here. And you're just gonna do the same. So you're gonna rotate it backwards by one setting, and this is just gonna allow you to get a lot more better engagement on the shoulders without actually falling off your seat and putting too much compression on the spine. So always warm up with the shoulders. Don't jump into a heavy working set. Now, when in position, obviously you want the dumbbells on your knees to begin with. You want your feet just wider than shoulder width apart, planted into the floor. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take a seat back and you're gonna kick off. I don't wanna see you swing with your arms because you're gonna do some serious damage to your shoulders. So you're gonna kick off 1, 2, like this. Now, when you're in position, another big mistake that I see guys doing is they actually flare too wide and too out like this. So what you wanna do is bring the inner side of the dumbbell directly on top of your shoulders. But what you're gonna do now is actually tuck your elbows in slightly, okay? So you can get a lot more safer engagement on the shoulders. So from here, all you do, big breath in, tuck the elbows in, drive up to the top, and then you're gonna focus on bringing the dumbbells together. But you can see the outside of the dumbbell is almost facing the mirror away from me. It's not out like this. I'm not flaring my elbows completely wide. I'm tucking them in slightly. Big breath in at the top, come down slowly, keeping the inner part of the dumbbell on top of my shoulders, all the way down, drive up to the top. But try not to exhale. So you've inhaled here, you're not gonna exhale until you're at the top of the movement, because if you breathe out here, you've lost it. You basically lost, okay? So when you're at the top, breathe in, chest up, shoulders back, rotate your scapula, come all the way down, keeping that dumbbell slightly tucked in, and a big drive up to the top. Now, as I said, the biggest mistake I see people doing is not only having their bench too far upright, but when they're actually in the position and they have the dumbbells like this, they're relaxing their chest, they're arching their shoulders over, which is going to do a lot of damage to your rotator cuff. So when coming into position, what you want to do is a nice proud chest, and you actually want to retract your shoulder blades, stick your shoulders up against the bench like this, okay? Not arching over with a rounded chest. Up like this, shoulders tucked in slightly, elbows tucked in, chest up nice and proud, and then you're driving upwards. Remember, keep your shoulder blades retracted to the bench with a nice, proud chest, okay? Now, second movement that we're actually gonna go on to now, we're gonna move away from shoulders and we're gonna start hitting the lats. Now, to begin with, we're gonna focus on a compound. Pull-ups, wide grips, the best compound movement there is for your back, okay? Always make sure that you're getting some form of pull-up movement within your list. It doesn't have to be in every single split, but pull-ups are an absolute game changer for boosting your metabolism because you're working your lats, your biceps, your upper back, your rear delts, everything. Now, I'm not actually facing, because if I did face, I'd probably hit my head on here. But what we're gonna do is you're gonna reach onto your wide grip. Now, the biggest mistake that I see people doing when going to do their pull-ups is they're not actually bringing their chest to the bar. What they're focusing on is just trying to bring their head up, but they're rounding their shoulders over, they're bringing their head down, and they're not actually facing up. What you want to do is exactly like with the shoulder press that I showed you a minute ago. Keep your chest up nice and proud, like with any movement. Always have a nice, proud chest, shoulders back, okay? And then when we come into the movement, what we're gonna do, just like the shoulder press, take a big breath in at the bottom, okay? And then you're gonna focus on bringing your chest to the bar. So 3, 2, 1, squeeze through your lats, your biceps, retract your shoulder blades back, and pull that chest to the bar. And as you come down, bring your head forward, like slow, 2, 1, 3 seconds on the way down, big breath in again. And then bringing that chest to the bar, keeping that chest nice and proud. Head under, 2, 1. Like so, really focusing on driving your elbows towards your pockets. Okay, you don't want to just come to here, really focus. As you're pulling down, you're bringing your chest to the bar, but what you want to do is really drive those elbows down and squeeze your lats as tight as possible. Now, if you don't know, or you can't actually do a regular pull-up, what we're going to do is I'm going to run you through an assisted pull-up. So when using the assisted pull-up, it actually works the complete opposite way to how all the other machines work. Normally, the heavier the pin weight, the heavier the resistance, and the harder the movement is going to be because you're putting more workload. With this actually acts as a counterweight because you're coming back up. So what you want to do is start with half your body weight within the pin stack, and the lighter you make it, the harder it's going to be because the less assistance there is. So we'll go with half our body weight. Okay, what you want to do is just stand up, come onto here. We'll do the same thing as before. Okay, wide grip. You want to bring your knees onto here. Okay, and then from here, same again as a wide grip pull up. So all the way down, like so, full stretch, but you're going to keep your chest nice and proud. Okay, and the aim is here, you're bringing your chest to the bar, like so, all the way to the top, squeeze those lats towards your pockets, down again, 2, 1, big breath in, all the way up, like so. Really focusing on trying to bring your elbows all the way and squeezing towards your lats. Now the third movement that we're going to be going back onto, we're going to actually move on to our side delts, okay, back onto our shoulders. We're going to be doing a cable lateral raise. Now, the benefits in doing a cable lateral raise over a dumbbell is that when using the cables, like any sort of exercise using the cables, you're keeping the muscle under tension the entire time. Okay, so when going through the cable lateral raise, you're actually, a lot of people I see doing is when doing their dumbbell lateral raises, they're putting all the work into the top, but they're just coming back down. There's no actual controlled eccentric. There's no actually controlled part of the movement on the negative. So the benefits in using the cable is that you're actually going to be keeping the side delt under tension the entire time. You want to keep it nice and controlled. You want to stand away from the cable so you can actually get that full stretch here. And then what you want to do, hand wherever you like it, on your stomach, on your chest, wherever you like it. You're going to come all the way across, and then just like a dumbbell lateral raise, all you're going to focus on is keeping your elbow above your wrist at all times, and then coming up like this, okay? You don't want to bring your arms up to here. That's another big issue that I see people doing, you know, when they're doing a lateral raise, they're just coming like this. Okay, you just want to slow it right down. So what you want to do, come across the body like so, and then you're going to come up, keep that elbow right up, okay, to here, and really feel that engagement on your side delt there. So all the way down, nice and slowly, big breath in, up, squeeze, hold for a second, and then I want you to do 4 seconds on the way down on the eccentric phase of the movement. Come across the body and squeeze like so. Keep your head up, really focus on that mind to muscle connection. So when you're going through the movement, really focus about putting the tension on your side delt. Now boys, next movement we're going to do is a lat pull down, moving away from our shoulders and coming back onto lats. Now, we're going to do a single arm lat pull down. Now this bar is actually set up as a regular pull down. And the reason that we're going to do a single arm lat pull down is due to a greater and deeper range of motion. You see, when doing a regular pull down, it's all good. But you'll find that as you bring the bar down to your chest, you're very limited. Okay, you can only bring the bar to your chest and your elbows can only come so far. You see, as starting out from here, it's all well and good. You know, it does the job. You'll find that you're very limited on your range of motion because the bar can only come to your chest and your elbows can't come as deep as we'd like them to. So when setting up for our single arm lat pull down, you want to grab this attachment here. It's called a D handle. Steel one, plastic one, there's lots of variations, but just grab one of these, attach this to the top. And now when coming down into position, we'll start with our right side. A big mistake that I see people doing is exactly like a pull-up, right? They won't have their chest up, their back is just completely rounded, and they're pulling down like this and just really swinging at it and doing this. Again, like a pull-up, what you want to do is just sit up nice and straight, nice proud chest, chest up, shoulders back, and then what you're going to focus on is as you're pulling down, obviously we want to try and really squeeze the lats and get that greatest stretch and the greatest contraction possible. Got a big breath in at the top, and then what you want to focus on is really driving your elbow towards your pocket, okay? Keeping it nice and tight, not flared like this. You're going to keep your elbow in, and then you're going to focus on bringing that down and keeping it almost like you're squeezing a towel in between your bicep, your tricep, and your lats. So you're going to come down, keep that arm nice and tight, squeeze as much as you can, and really focus on driving your elbow towards your pocket, okay? So from here, big breath in. 1 second to the bottom of the concentric, nice hold for a second, and then we're gonna do a 3-second eccentric phase all the way to the top, nice big stretch, and you can actually allow your head to follow your elbow. So from here, big breath in, head follows the elbow, really focus on squeezing a towel between your arm and your lats, okay? Big squeeze, really drain the water out of the towel in between your arm and your lats. Driving your elbow towards your pocket, head follows up to the top. Now, you can see that my head was following, so I'm coming to here, and my head is actually following the line of the bar. So I'm still not, as I'm coming back, I'm not leaning backwards. I'm actually following the line of my arm. Squeeze the towel, elbows to pockets, like so. And like I said, the benefits of actually doing a single arm lat pull down over a regular bar is not only because you can get a deeper range of motion, but it's because when doing a unilateral movement, sometimes when people pull both arms, they'll actually pull or push harder with one side to the other. So just doing a unilateral movement and doing one at a time means that you're gonna get maximum output and maximum engagement and actual contraction on each side of the muscle. You're doing one at a time, meaning that you can't cheat with one or the other. One at a time, making sure you're training to failure on both sides instead of just doing a regular pull down where sometimes people have a stronger left lat or a stronger right lat depending on which side they are. It's the case with a lot of exercises and a lot of movements, right? It's like doing a bicep curl, for example, right? When doing one at a time, you're gonna get the best out of both because you're not doing both at the same time. When doing a barbell curl, someone's gonna have a stronger bicep on the right side compared to their left side, for example. So instead of just doing one where you might find yourself swinging but also putting more of your right, if you're doing unilateral one at a time, you're gonna be getting the best contraction and the most activation out of both sides. So we're gonna do tricep dips, okay? Bodyweight dips to begin with. You don't need any rings, you don't need any weights, nothing like that at all. We're just gonna do standard bodyweight tricep dips. Now, this is so effective and one of the best builders for not only your shoulders, your triceps and your chest, but this has been one of the best exercises for building my anterior, the front of my body. When getting into position, what you wanna do, stand up on here, okay? Come upwards, chest up, shoulders back, as you would with the other exercises. And then you just want to focus on opening up your chest slightly, but putting all of that workload onto your triceps and your shoulders. So big breath in, come down, 3-second eccentric, okay? Come down, your body follows, open up the chest, full range of motion, big squeeze up, exhale at the top, okay? Big breath in, open up the chest, put the engagement on your triceps, all the way down, and drive. Like I said, now when doing this, just start out with body weight, okay? If you can't, then we have a great alternative. Just like body weight pull-ups, you can do the same setup for the dips. Now, when getting set up with your pull-ups, exactly like you would, you wanna bring your knees onto the pads, but you're gonna be holding onto these handles here, okay? So like so, into position, knees on here, the same as you would with the pull-ups, okay? So chest up, shoulders back, nice proud chest, big breath in, and just like I did with the normal dips, open up the chest, but really put the workload on your triceps. All the way down, full range of motion, like so. And again, like with the pull-ups, make it harder by reducing the resistance. It acts as a counterweight, so the lighter you have it, the harder it's going to be because the less assistance there is. Right, so the final exercise that we're going to be moving on to today is going to be a D-handle cable curl for the biceps. Now, just like I showed you with the cable lateral raises, the reason that we're doing this is because we're going to be keeping the bicep under tension the entire time. Too many times I see people swinging with their dumbbell curls, right? And the issue is, it's not a strict curl. All they're doing is arching their back, putting so much pressure on their spine and their lower back. So all we're doing when getting into position with this movement is we want to keep the elbow behind the body, okay? Not the side, not in front, keeping the elbow behind the body, okay? And you're going to be hinging from the elbow. Not like dumbbell curls where I see a lot of guys swinging like this, okay? You don't want to be doing any of this, putting a lot of pressure on your shoulders. All you want to focus on is hinging from the elbow. Really focusing on getting a deep stretch at the bottom after the eccentric. Big breath in, chest up, shoulders back. Really focusing on squeezing your biceps at the very top, okay? Through your forearms as well. Keeping that elbow hinged in a fixed position. Really focusing on a 3-second eccentric phase. 2, 3. So 3 seconds down, and then try and get a full stretch. Straighten your arm, one more. I'm absolutely fatigued. So there we have it, boys, a full vertical push-pull session. Now, it's all well and good going through these movements. We want to make sure that each and every single week we're applying that progressive overload, making sure that we're getting stronger by either increasing our reps, the sets, the weights, the tempo over time to break down those fibers and build some more lean muscle mass, which is going to boost our metabolism and put us in that calorie deficit. Now, if you want a further breakdown of exactly what we do and how I've helped hundreds of guys just like yourself get into the best shape of their life, build lean muscle mass, drop body fat, without having to give up their career, social life, or family, then check out some of my other content within my channel where I go through my exact routine that built my physique, to training, to nutrition, recovery, everything. Now, if you are struggling and you want help getting to that next level, then I'm gonna leave a link in the description where you can book a one-to-one call with myself, where we can run you through your goals, your struggles, exactly where you're at, and where we can get you within the next 4 to 6 months and help you become the best version of yourself. And as always, I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. If you did enjoy it, make sure you hit like and subscribe. I'll look forward to speaking with you soon.